So hi everyone, good afternoon, especially to Dr. Mercado. So I am Geraldine Ugabang, and today I am going to discuss to you about my assigned linguist, which is Sigmund Freud. And I'm going to show you and talk about his autobiography and his contribution to stylistic and discourse analysis. So let me just introduce to you first Mr. Sigmund Freud. So the picture I showed you in the screen beside me is obviously him. And he was born on May 6, 1856 at Freiburg, Moravia, Austrian Empire, and died on September 23, 1939 at London, England. So basically, he died at the age of 83. Yes, 83. So he is a neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis. So later, I'm going to discuss to you about the psychoanalysis, not his therapeutic techniques. Okay. So he is also the most influential legislator at his age, and he graduated from the spirit of gymnasium and apparently inspired by a public reading of an essay by Gothian nature and turned medicine as a career. In 1986, Freud coined the term psychoanalysis. So this is the treatment of mental disorders, emphasizing the unconscious mental processes, and it is also called as depth psychology. So Freud also developed what he thought of as the three agencies of human personalities, which is the ID, ego, and superego. That is now unlocked. What is psychoanalysis of Sigmund Freud? So, the psychoanalysis is a set of psychological theories and therapeutic techniques used to study unconscious mind, which together form a method of treatment for mental illness and also a theory which explains human behavior. So the primary assumption of psychoanalysis is the belief that all people possess unconscious thoughts, feelings, desires, and memories. So let us move on to the greatest contribution of Sigmund Freud to stylistic and discourse analysis. And by the way, I made it like this so that you could see and read it clearly. Okay, so as you can see in the screen, Freud developed a set of therapeutic techniques centered on talk therapy that involved the use of strategies such as transference, free association, and dream interpretation. So in psychoanalytic theory of Freud, he states that personality is composed of three elements known as the ID, the ego, and the superego. So let us now first tackle what is the ID. Okay, so the ID is the source of psychic energy. This aspect of personality is entirely unconscious and includes instinctive and primitive behavior. Yours. So it is driven by the pleasure principle, which strives for immediate gratification of all desires, wants, and needs. If these are not satisfied immediately, the result is a state anxiety or tension. Okay? So the second is the ego. The ego is the component of personality that is responsible for dealing with reality. It operates based on the reality principle, which strives to satisfy the idea's desires on realistic and socially appropriate ways. And the reality principle weighs the cost and benefits of an action before deciding to act upon or abandon impulses. Okay? So, the ego is the realistic part that mediates between the desires of the ID and the super ego. Okay? So, the third one, okay, is the super ego. The superego begins to emerge at around age 5. It holds the internalized moral standards and ideas that we acquire from our parents and society, our sense of right and wrong, no? It provides guidelines for making judgments. So for the last part of this video, let us talk about the therapeutic techniques of Sigmund Freud. So number one is dream interpretation. It is used to reveal unconscious thoughts. Number two, free association. During free association, the patient is encouraged to talk about anything that freely comes to their mind. Number three is the interpretation. The psychoanalyst helps the patient explore memories and personal narratives in detail, and while doing so, the psychoanalyst analyzes them. So that is interpretation. Number four, the last one, is the transference. Patients engage transference when they transfer feelings they had for someone in their past to the present. Okay? So that's the end of my report, and I hope you guys like it. Bye!